Welcome to the Sleepy Philosopher, a quiet place where history whispers and philosophy tucks you in. Here we drift into ancient worlds, where empires rise, ideas echo through time, and conquerors where Tonight, we follow a man who thought the gods were in his blood, and expected everyone else to agree. This is a day in the life of Alexander the Great, on conquest. Now, close your eyes, and let's march softly into legend. Let's begin with a sunrise over a battlefield that doesn't exist yet. The sky is streaked with copper light, but no one really appreciates the view, because most of them are too busy shivering or sharpening something sharp. Somewhere near the Indus River, a man named Alexander is already awake. Of course he is. He's not just a morning person, he's the morning person. The kind who believes sleep is for the unambitious and victory is best served before breakfast. He stretches, probably shirtless, because modesty is for philosophers. His muscles ache, not from yesterday's battle, but from carrying the weight of greatness since birth. After all, his mother told him he was a demigod. His father, Philip of Macedon, told him to prove it. So he does, every single day. This morning's breakfast is humble, a hunk of stale bread, maybe olives, a sip of watered-down wine, because even conquerors follow hydration guidelines. He eats quickly. There's a small local rebellion to crush by noon. Outside, his men are already gathering. They love him, they hate him. Sometimes both, but they follow him. From the cool vineyards of Macedonia to the searing edges of what he thinks is the end of the world. Spoiler it isn't. Alexander throws in his armor. Not just any armor, a polished breastplate rumored to have been modeled after Achilles. He requested the ABFs be extra defined. His cloak, crimson, always crimson. Visibility matters when you want everyone to know the God King has arrived. By now, his generals are circling, Ptolemy the nerd, Seleucus Schema, and Perdiccas, who still thinks he's getting a promotion. They're discussing troop placements, elephant logistics, supply lines. But Alexander already knows what he's doing. He listens anyway, he's diplomatic, or bored. Then comes the pre-battle ritual. He gives a speech. Oh yes, he loves a good speech. Today's theme, brotherhood, glory, and how dying in battle beside him is the greatest honor a man can hope for. The men cheer. It's either inspiration or fear, doesn't really matter. And then it begins. The march. The pounding of sandals and dust, the glint of spears, the scent of horses, sweat, and long-distance ambition. Somewhere, a drummer keeps the pace. Somewhere else, a scout swears he saw an enemy cavalry. Alexander doesn't flinch. He rides ahead, always ahead, heroically, shirt optional. By mid-morning, the enemy appears. Local resistance, lightly armed, mostly terrified, but brave. Bravery doesn't save them. Alexander positions his phalanx, tight formation. 16-foot pikes, a living wall of don't even try it. His cavalry flanks wide. He gives the signal, and then violence. Controlled, precise, magnificent violence. This isn't chaos. It's choreography, a deadly ballet. Alexander charges with the companion cavalry, slicing through resistance like destiny incarnate. He takes a spear to the shoulder, barely notices, just enough blood to look noble, not enough to ruin the aesthetic. By late morning it's over, survivors flee, prisoners kneel. Another dot on the map becomes a redrawing of borders, and like clockwork, he names the site Alexandria. His 14th noon lunch. In the shade of a half-burnt temple, he sits on a silk cushion, legs sprawled, drinking from a gold cup like it's a canteen. Goat meat, flatbread, dates. He eats with one hand and rewrites geopolitics with the other. Locals are brought forward. Some bow, some are suspicious, some are charming enough to become advisors. Some will mysteriously disappear before sunset. Then it's time for paperwork. Yes, even god kings have admin. He divides territories, grants, favors, sends letters to Athens, carefully worded to sound humble, while reminding them he's better than every single one of their philosophers. Combined later, he meets with builders. He sketches plans for a city, with a gymnasium, a theater, a market, and naturally a shrine to himself. Urban development is very important to him, especially when every city is named Alexander. Evening approaches. The heat softens. The men light fires. The cooks prepare stew in battered pots. The smell is somewhere between rustic and questionable. Alexander reclines on cushions beside Hephaestion, his general, his companion, possibly his soulmate. They talk softly, in Greek, about the stars, about Homer, about whether it's better to die famous or live forgotten. Someone nearby starts playing a lyre. It's a bit off. No one says anything. He walks to the camp, personally. Quietly, he talks to his men, remembers names, praises, courage, shares wine. This, more than strategy, more than bloodshed. This is why they follow him. Because Alexander is many things, genius, tyrant, dreamer, but he is never distant. He is with them, in dust and firelight. Later, in the privacy of his tent, he removes his armor. Slowly, each dent tells a story, each scar a memory. He stares at a map, candles flickering over its surface. India's next, or Arabia, or maybe the ocean itself. He's not sure where the world ends, but he's determined to find it. Finally, he lies down. No silk sheets, just blankets, sand, and the weight of history. His eyes close, and the last thought before sleep. Not love, not peace, not even legacy, but whether there are more cities left to name. Alexandria, even the greatest of conquerors, must sleep, and when they do, they dream of empires, horses, and very flattering statues. Thank you for drifting through time with the Sleepy Philosopher. If you enjoyed this little lullaby of legacy, give it a like, and if you want more whispered tales of ambition, ruined, and really dramatic beards, hit subscribe. Because even as the world sleeps, the questions remain.